Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today we're going to be looking at my February TBR because we got some chunky ones on here to read. So I have got piles around me, a pile of books that I want to read and a pile of books I'm carrying over because I've carried over more than I wanted to. However, I read more than I thought I would last month, so we're just kind of balancing out the chaos, if I'm honest. So let's talk about the ones we're going to carry over. And then we'll talk about the ones that I want to read, because in theory I should read the carried over ones before I get to these ones, so it's more of a TBR/MBR thing. But let's just dive into it. So I have got this pile of 4 books that I am carrying over to this month. So the first one is Groover's Blood by Alexander Darwin. I thought I would have finished this. To be fair, I thought I would have finished all of these by now, but no judgment, just love for me at the minute, please. So I have the rest of this to read. I have fallen behind massively in my reading plans already. And other things obviously come up as they do when you review books. But this is high priority. All of these books are high priority. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm really enjoying all of these books. But I will finish this month. I have to, because it's been too long. And I need to know what happens. Really, it needs to be done. And the same can be said for The Bitter Crown by Justin Lee Anderson. I've been devouring this. Obviously not fast enough because I'm not a very fast reader, but I've been devouring this. I took this away with me last month when I went away with work, and it's very rare that I actually pick up a book consistently every night after I finish my day's work when I'm away, because it's a lot. It's tiring. It's just hard graft, you know, and you're on a completely different time schedule as well, because on-site days are usually 12 hours, office days are not. But this, been devouring, absolutely been loving this. I think I'm almost halfway, not far off halfway surely, chapter 20, but I will say this so far is not suffering that middle book syndrome, nothing is happening, it's going very slow thing, which most other books tend to do. This is not doing that, so I need to finish it because I want to know what is happening. This next one, you can't really tell what it is, but this is The Bone Charred Daughter by Andrea Stewart. This is my buddy read for last month with Kate. She is doing very strict rules where if she doesn't read the book, she unhauls it. Now, I want to try and stick to those rules too. The only reason I'm letting myself off with this one is because, one, my reading, I had planned it and it just obviously didn't go the way I wanted it, and I didn't want to travel with this. If I hadn't have gone away, I would have finished this last month. I think I am 100 pages in, maybe a little bit more. Almost 200 pages in, so I think I'm not far off halfway now. And I will finish this month. Again, these are going to be priority reads for me so that I can get them done before the end of this month. And hopefully we'll be taking not many books into March, because that is the goal. And then the only other one is this one, which is very shiny. This is The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. I have got this audibly from my library, which I didn't realise I could do, and that is the only reason this is being carried over, is because I actually started listening to it on site and I just didn't manage to finish it. I probably could have if I had a little bit more time on site. And also the final day where we ended up travelling home, I was not well, and I haven't been well. Actually, I don't know if you can hear it in my throat. I haven't been well for the past almost week now, so you know, still recuperating, haven't done a lot of reading, really can't wait to dive back into this. I'll be reading this on my commute to and from work probably, but this is the stunning Fairy Loot edition, so really enjoying this and can't wait for a sequel actually, because I feel like it's going to be a good book. Now we're on to the books that I need to read this month. So the first one is going to be none other than Colour of Vengeance, which is the next book in the It's All About Fantasy read-along that myself and Lisa host every month. So this is book 2 in the trilogy. I will be listening to this audibly because I have got it audibly because I bought the bind up on Audible, which you can do too if you want. 1 credit gives you all 3 books. Not sponsored, just I thought this was amazing, so I took advantage of that deal, and that's how I've been listening. But I am yet to start the next book because as I'm filming this now, we haven't done the live show. I can't listen to the next book for the live show because I'll get them all muddled, and I don't want to be doing that and giving away spoilers for book 2 in book 1. So we're holding off on that for now, but once that is done and once Amina is finished, then we'll be probably moving back to the next installment from Rob J. Hayes. My next buddy read with Kate is none other than If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is the signed by author edition, which I bought when everyone was going crazy for this book. And I can't remember when this was published, actually. Oh, 2022, I remember. Everyone was kind of going through like a dark academia vibe. I don't know if anyone else remembers this. It was very big on BookTube. So they came out with the anniversary. This is the 5th anniversary edition, and I'd never heard of this book, and then I kind of had it on my radar and I was going to pick it up. Then they took it off sale and they released this, so I bought this. This is signed by the author. I really don't know a lot about this. A page-turning literary thriller whose final shocking twist you won't soon forget. I do love a good thriller, if I'm honest. It's got a murder in it. It's got students studying Shakespeare. Love it. We're going to a school. Just love it. So yeah, this is our buddy read for this month. We have a very short month and we have a lot of books to get through, so I need to knuckle down and get stuff sorted. But yeah, this is our pick for this month. So if anything, I need to read this book and the next book for books for February, and then the rest of them can wait until further months, but I don't want to unhaul this, so I need to read it. Then the other book that I need to read this month is none other than Gog Magog by Jeff Noon and Steve Beard. This is the ARC copy. I have got a finished copy coming. This releases this month. So this is releasing on the 13th of February 2024 in both print for UK and US and ebooks as well. So if you want to check this out, definitely do that. This is about we're following our main character, who is essentially a washed up sailor. She used to go up and down the river Nissus. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's how I'm saying it. And she doesn't do that anymore. She's retired. She is happy enjoying her life, drinking away her benefits on rum and eating hard-boiled sweets, until this strange pair come along and ask for a boat to take them down the river Nissus to another part of the country. And originally our character says no way, and then for some reason she's gonna take them. You just know she is. So I am really looking forward to seeing what changes her mind and what happens on this adventure, because I don't think that this is going to be as straightforward as people would hope it would be. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out too. Now the rest of these books, there's another 3 on here that I would love to get to this month, but I'm not sure if I will, if I'm honest, and you will probably see why, because they're either sequels or prepping for the next release. So the first one is none other than The Tyranny of Faith by Richard Swan, which is the second book in the Empire of the Wolf trilogy. So I have actually got the third and final book in this trilogy. I mentioned at the end of last year when I read The Justice of Kings and I gave it 5 stars that I was putting off reading this book until I had the third and final one, because I really just wanted to jump right into it and I wanted to binge the next one as well, most probably, if this one finishes in the same way that the first one did. And now I've got the third and final book, so now I need to finish this series. I need to experience this world. I'm hoping that the rest of the books get 5 stars too. I could not stop thinking about the first book, The Justice of Kings, and now I'm so excited to get to the rest of them. So in the first book, it is told from Helena's perspective, and Helena is the scribe to Sir Vonvolt, who is a justice. Now, justices in this world are both judge, jury and executioner for people that have done wrong. And at the start of this book, we are kind of introduced to that and one specific incident which causes kind of a rift between the group that she is currently travelling with, and this further sparks issues further down the line as well. But I really enjoyed the fact that this story is told from a female perspective. I really enjoyed the fact that I did not really like Helena throughout the whole book. There were parts where I really liked her to begin with. The middle, I did not like her. She was annoying, and then the end kind of made sense as to why she was annoying. I think a big part of it as well is that we have to remember how young Helena is, and that she is learning about herself, about the world. She is so frustrating at one point in the first book, but I think that's why I loved it. And there is also a mystery to solve as well, which, if you know me, I love fantasy, I love mysteries, and this just like squishes it together. So I'm really looking forward to reading the sequel. I'm hoping it's going to be just as good. Now, my only thing is that I'm not sure if I'm going to listen to it audibly like I did the first one, or if I'm just going to pick it up physically. I think it depends on everything else that I'm currently reading, because I've got a lot of Spiffboy books to read as well this month. They're just not featured in this TBR video because I want to talk about the other books that aren't connected to Spiffboy with you guys, if that makes sense. Then, of course, we have House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas, the book of the moment, which you can guarantee will be in the Goodreads Choice Awards at the end of the year, because this has had such a massive hype around it, as it always does with any Sarah J Maas book. So this is the third one in a series that I don't know how long it is, and I was going to originally reread the first and second book. Now, I loved the first book. The first book for me got 5 stars. Now, I know other people feel the same. There is one creator in particular, which is Becca from Becca and the Books. She loved the first book, so did I, and she did not find the second book as good, which I completely agree with. So I didn't know if I wanted to actually bring myself to read the second book, because it was for me. It still got 4 stars, but it got 4 stars for pretty much everyone else but Bryson Hunt, I have to be honest, which is a little bit besides the point. But I also kind of want to read the rest of the Sarah J Maas books before I read this, because I'm scared I'm going to be confused. There is spoilers going around probably already. I will not be spoiling anything. I will give you a wrap up, I guess, at the end of the month or whenever I read this. Am I going to do a spoiler vlog? Probably not. There are so many around that I just don't think mine would do any of it justice. But I am looking forward to watching everyone else's content once I have actually read this book. But it's chunky, man, and I do want to reread the first book, but I don't want to reread the second. Luckily, again, Becca from Becca and the Books has done an amazing recap and catch up for the second book, so I think I'm going to watch that and then dive on into this, and then we'll just be confused. And then we'll carry on our journey with Sarah J Maas throughout the rest of the year, and hopefully I'll finish all of her books this year. We shall see. And then the final book that I would love to read this month, if I can, is none other than Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff, ready for the release of the next book in this series, which is at the end of this month. So I listened to this audibly the first time round. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to read this physically or audibly. Quite possibly audibly, because again, at the end of this month I'm away for about 2 weeks, and it kind of crosses over into the beginning of March as well. So it might be a case that I actually just carry this into March, read it audibly, and then maybe pick up the sequel physically or buy it with a credit. I'm not too sure what I want to do, but this is the Illumicrate edition. I've got the Illumicrate edition ordered, and I've got the Waterstones edition ordered because I have to carry on my my collection, because I have a problem and I know it, but look at these edges. Can you... So in this book is part of the vampire hype, which seems to be coming back for 2024. There seems to be a lot of vampires coming back, which I'm kind of here for, if I'm honest. I think I want to do a vampire reading vlog at some point, which would be quite cool. Read books that are featuring vampires, not the Twilight sort of vampires, like the actual ones that'll eat you. I have got somewhere, I think it's called The Fear of Moncroy, which is an indie book somewhere on these shelves, that is also about vampires, so I think a vampire vlog would be really, really cool. But yes, I'm not sure how I want to read this just yet, but I will be reading this hopefully towards the end of the month, so I can continue with the sequel, because guys, this was such a good book. I can't remember what I gave this. I think it might have been 5 stars. It was so good. It was so good. And there's not descriptions, and there's drawings in here and artwork and all sorts, as there always are really with J. Kristoff books. So I'm so excited to try and get to this one again and re-experience it, because it has been so long since I read it. 22 I think this came out, which is crazy. Oh no, not even then, 21 this came out. So 3 years ago, and we're now getting the sequel. Very excited to get back into this world. So there is my TBR slash MBR slash I don't even know what anymore books that I want to read in the month of February. Now this is a very short month and that is a very long list of books. Will I be able to read all these books? Quite possibly not. But am I okay with that? Yes, I am. I want to try and read as many of them as possible. I know the first full week of February is Polathon, which is hosted by JD Ray Reads. I probably won't be taking part in Polathon in the sense of reading polar fantasies, but I might use the sprints themselves to read other books because I really want to get through the stuff that I have already got on my pile, especially my review books, because I need to crack on with them. There's also a whole heap of indie books that I have got that I want to read in the background as well, which I haven't mentioned in this video, but I will be looking to read for Spiffbo and for Sphinx, which is a lot, if I'm honest. We're talking a lot of pages for me to read, so we're gonna have to crack on and see what we get to. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. It really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below of a book that you're hoping to read in the month of February. If you just want to leave me any emojis, leave me any tick emojis, because we will be checking these off our physical TBRs this month, hopefully. And if you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ringing that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I usually upload every Monday and Thursday, so be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.